so much, Rep. Harris, for that debate. And of course, thank you to both Rep. McClain and Rep. Daniels for taking our questions and providing your perspective yesterday as well. I'm going to be very brief, members, but I have with me a copy of the U.S. Constitution. And I just want to highlight Amendment 1 of the Bill of Rights. Congress shall make no law respecting establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, and so forth. So I asked questions yesterday about the Establishment Clause, because the Establishment Clause, for those who don't know, prohibits the government from establishing a religion. And of course, I know Rep. Bartleman, others will talk more about the concerns around qualifications, the fact that we're not defining chaplaincy or what that looks like. I more want to focus on just the concern with the U.S. Constitution, because at the end of the day, when we put into place any type of established religion in a public school setting, it does raise those flags. And I don't want to put our school districts in a situation where they're going to be faced with litigation on these issues. And I would much rather we ensure that separation of church and state is in place. Because please remember, the only types of exceptions that case law has allowed for are situations that I mentioned yesterday in the military, in hospitals, and in prisons. Because these are three different institutions where you might not have the free exercise of religion, because you are in a situation where you are either behind a fence, or you're on a military base, or you are in a hospital setting. And so allowing for there to be chaplaincy and access to religious services in those spaces is an example of where someone doesn't have the free exercise of religion. The reality is, in a public school setting, all those students with their parental involvement do have access to practice their religion. There's also a lot of concern that if a chaplain is not trained, they may only have a chaplain, for example, of one religious denomination, and that would not be respecting the U.S. Constitution. And so I really encourage us to, put our emotions aside and just think about what the U.S. Constitution tells us. And it's pretty clear the Establishment Clause provides that separation of church and state. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.